Hey everybody, this is your Right Geek and Honorary Man King here with another video. Tonight I am suffering from some pain and muscle spasms due to my chronic medical condition, but I'm going to try to power through despite that to bring you some content because, as Tony Stark does in this back issue from 1993, this is issue number 293, sometimes you just have to power through the pain. So here's the context for this particular issue. Basically, this falls in the timeline right after Tony gets shot and has to have his entire nervous system replaced. So as of this issue, he is still bedridden, and he is controlling the armor remotely. And as this issue starts, he has just lost control of the armor because he has been captured by the controller's drones here. Oh, where am I now? I'm in deep trouble. And so Basil Sandhurst, the controller, tries to inject a chip into Tony's head so that he can take control of Tony. But it doesn't quite work because Tony's nervous system is now artificial, so it doesn't work the same way as other people's nervous systems do. So that gives Tony an opening to try to fight against the controller's attempts to take over him. Meanwhile, he manages to convince one of the controller's drones to give him back his headset so that he can call the armor again, and now the armor has to come and rescue him. So let's skip some pages for the copyright gods. You get this really cool looking fight scene where the armor comes back to rescue him. And then, while the armor is occupying the controller and his drones, we get the key moment where Tony is fighting against the controller inside his own mind. And we get this page, which, when I first read this page, I literally squealed in delight. This is one of the coolest pages in Iron Man canon, as far as I'm concerned. So we have the battle going on. This is inside his mind. By the way, the art's really cool. But he says, as he's fighting the controller, "Are you listening, you technological perversion? Do you realize yet what a mistake you've made taking me on? I've been through death and a purgatory of my own making. I've come back for more damage to body and soul than you can ever dish out. You can hurt me. You might even be able to kill me. But you can never own me." This, I find 100% inspiring. I literally want to, rip this out, blow it up, and put it on my wall as a reminder that no matter how much pain you're in, no matter how much you're suffering, you can use that, you can channel that to accomplish something really cool, like taking over your own circumstances. The other interesting thing about this issue is that, in the end, instead of pursuing the course of vengeance, Tony actually offers to help Basil Sandhurst here, who is also physically incapacitated in a similar way to Tony is. And Tony actually says, "You may not believe it, but I understand what you're going through. I'd help you if I could." But Sandhurst refuses his help because Sandhurst is, because he is a villain, he is unwilling to recognize when somebody is actually reaching out in a spirit of kindness. And that, actually, the contrast between Basil Sandhurst and Tony here is really interesting and relevant to our modern era, where we have a lot of people who feel like that they've been dealt a shitty hand, and so they decide that the way that they're going to deal with that is to try to force and coerce the people around them to arrange the environment just so that they never have to feel any adversity, they never have to feel any pain. They never have to feel any inconvenience or frustration. But of course, that is not the proper way to deal with adversity. The proper way is not to expect the outside world to always live up to your expectations. The proper way to respond is to focus on your own self-improvement. And so you have Tony here deciding that, you know what, I got to get out of this damn chair, even if that means I have to buy a whole box of these little rubber exercise balls. And so he's focusing more on himself instead of ranting and raving about how terrible and unfair the world is. He is doing the moral thing and realizing that he has control over how he responds to the situation, and by focusing on his own self-improvement, he can make his own situation, as shitty as it is, even better. So that is issue number 293, one of my favorite back issues. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. I think this right here is just one of the many issues that demonstrates why I find Tony Stark in the original General era to be such an inspiring character personally. I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and I will talk to you later.